friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard this evening as we get set up to discuss a little bit of the following Game 5, the Oilers advancing to round 2 and setting up what could be a pretty relaxing weekend in Alberta for us Edmonton Oilers fans, across the world as well. But let's just take a focus here in southern Alberta and northern Alberta, where we don't have game day to stress about until probably Monday, Tuesday next week. I know Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic was mentioning he was hearing Tuesday was the likely date. However, what I will tell you is the Oilers got it done. That's key number one. And key number two really is the fact that for me personally, I'm not stressing about game number 6. And I don't mean that in the fact of, oh, if the Oilers lose game 6. I mean that in the fact of there was a real possibility I was going to miss all of game 6. I don't know what you know about 6:30 Chet on the old airwaves down by Banff. Not very good. So I had to make sure that got done last night. The Oilers did, and away we go. Now what I'll say is, if you're just tuning into this video this evening, a lot of people will say, oh Tyson, why are you going with the negative here based on the title of the video? I want you to reframe this as the conversation goes along, because it's just almost asking a kind of set of questions within one. So before we get any further though, friends, if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Love to have you aboard for round 2 and beyond. We got an interesting offseason coming up too, eventually, after the Oilers hopefully do that thing. So here we go, 4-3 final against the LA Kings in Game 5, where the Oilers win Game 5 by a goal, win Game 4 by a goal, really clamp down the defense in that third period. And my question to you, and layer it as many ways as you want, did the Oilers actually prove anything in the first round against the LA Kings? Have they kind of stopped the naysayers about the defense? Did Stuart Skinner shut anybody up? Did the Oilers really announce their presence in the 2024 Stanley Cup playoffs with some of the big scores? The defense, are the Oilers a different team this year because of the ways they can attack and defend compared to the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Those are the big questions, right? Did the Oilers actually prove anything, or is it just a bunch of good signs that need to be reinforced, right? This is not a negative saying the Oilers did nothing in round 1, nothing counts for anything, throw it all out onto round 2. That's not where I'm going with this. It is more or less just a question and a decision between, is this first round really something we should be universally celebrating and everybody across the board should be happy with no matter what on to round 2? Or is this something that maybe for a lot of folks is going to take another round where the Oilers do exactly what they did here in round 1, right? I mean, the Oilers did a pretty good job in round 1, all told, outside of maybe some sloppy play in game 2 for a period. The Oilers technically only had one bad period all playoffs so far, so kind of break that down how you will. But when it comes down to it, I think for a lot of folks, especially those hurt by the early start, kind of hurt by last year's problems against Vegas in round 2, kind of hurt by just age-old tales of the Oilers just kind of not quite being the team you hope they are. Well, is it going to take round 2? And I think, quite honestly, it will. But that doesn't lessen the fact that the Edmonton Oilers actually proved something in round 1, right? I mean, we've handled the Kings 3 times in 3 years. Cool. As Bob Stauffer said today, cool, you beat the Kings. You beat the Kings every year. What does that prove? Well, quite simply what it proves for the Oilers, and I think Bob's point there as well, is it's a little different of a situation than it has been the past 2, right? 7 games in 2022, the Oilers cling to Connor McDavid in Game 7 and win them a hockey game. Okay, games 6 games in 2023, the Oilers had some very dull moments in that series, but were able to really spring to life and kind of take a hold and end it when they did. This year, I think, honestly, give LA some credit for not being the team that maybe they have been the past 2 years, right? The addition of Pierre-Luc Dubois for the subtractions they made, maybe not allowing the Kings to attack us the same way. I don't want to play down Cam Talbot's good year and David Riddick's good year for the LA Kings, but again, come playoff time, the goaltending really wasn't good enough for the LA Kings. Mind you, everybody says that about the Oilers as well, so who am I to talk? But you kind of get that, right? I guess maybe as the years have wore on against LA, they've gotten slightly worse, slightly older, slightly more banged up, or whatever, not excuse, whatever reason you want to put it there for the LA Kings as to why the Oilers have been able to finish the series faster. But just because the LA Kings might be on paper, might be mathematically, might be systematic, whatever the case might be, is if they're worse year by year, that doesn't say the Oilers haven't gotten better year by year. That's the big part here, right? So that's kind of where it's maybe a little bit wrapped in mystery, and that is why it's going to take a second round for the Oilers fans to really sink in that the Oilers proved something in round one, right? And that's the thing. We can go out there and do this again in round two, and maybe even the headlines aren't the Oilers really proved they're a contender in round two. No, it could be, wow, the Oilers have been on their game since game one against LA. And that would tell me they proved something against the LA Kings. So, like I said, this multi-layered, it's not a just overarching negativity comment about the Oilers. It is just really kind of how is this going to play out, and how is round one going to be looked at by game 4, 5, 6 of round number 2, right? When you get into that middle late part of the series coming up, especially against a team like Vancouver, who I think folks are a little worried. I'll be honest with you, Rick Tocchet's a scary dude. I had a chance to tell him he was doing a good job on the turnaround in Vancouver at the start of the year, and then I don't know if he used my good words there just to absolutely crush the Oilers single-handedly as the coach for the other team, for the Canucks, through 4 games in the regular season. But that guy, I mean, he scares the heck out of me. He's a big guy. He's got a big, intimidating presence, and even a thumbs up is enough to make you a little bit there. So, yeah, that's where maybe for the Oilers the disadvantage is on the bench. But again, when you kind of shape that up a little bit here today, is you view it, right? Is what did Chris Knobloch learn? What did the Oilers learn? Kind of how is what they proved in round one really going to translate to round two, and how much are we going to look back by the end of round two to round one to say, hey, this was all laid down here, and that's why we had success here. So that's the interesting part following game 5 for me, I think, is just kind of talking about a little bit with some friends and stuff, is the Oilers, right, they did everything that anybody could ask of them in round one. But now, again, as you get into the final 8, the final 4, the final 2, more and more gets asked of you, and it kind of becomes a framing of kind of how did things go previous will indicate kind of how things are going to go forward, right? I think there is, to some folks, the right to doubt Stuart Skinner. That's fair enough. You can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, Stuart Skinner is going to do what he wants, and through the last 3 games of the series, really decided to put on a show. And I guess which one shows up in round 2, I'm going to bet on the second half of the series, Skinner, and I know some folks will bet on the first half. So, again, what did the Oilers prove in round number 1? Did they prove anything? I think they proved that as long as they kind of stick to the program, we're going to see some success. And now the problem is, and maybe the opportunity as well is, that you have to stick to the program just the same in round number 2. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Thanks so much for being aboard tonight. Really do appreciate you listening to me ramble on as we get later into these Stanley Cup playoffs. Enjoy tomorrow night, all right? We should have a break on the channel. It should be a nice, calm, relaxing day to enjoy. Maybe some nice weather. Maybe this wind, maybe this rain will quit, and we'll get outside and really enjoy what is about to be the start of the 2024 summer. I am up on, out of here.